Anna was an ordinary woman, and she often thought that her life was simple, maybe even too simple. She lived in a small town where everyone knew each other. Her home was a tiny apartment above a bakery. Every morning she woke up at 6 o'clock, and the smell of fresh bread from the bakery filled her room. It was a warm, sweet smell that made her feel safe. Anna liked simple mornings. She liked drinking her cup of coffee slowly while sitting by the window. She liked to watch the sun climb up into the sky and listen to the first birds singing. Life felt calm in those moments, and Anna thought nothing could ever disturb it. Anna was also known in the town for her gentle heart. When she walked down the street, she always smiled at people, even strangers. Old people liked her because she carried their shopping bags when they were heavy. Children liked her because she had a friendly little dog named Max. Max was small, brown, and cheerful. He always wagged his tail, and the children loved to pat him. Everyone said, "Anna is kind," and Anna liked hearing that, but she never thought she was special. To her, kindness was just normal, something everyone should do. She worked in a fruit and vegetable shop near the park. The shop was small, but it was bright with colorful apples, oranges, and carrots stacked neatly. Customers often came in just to talk to her, because she listened with patience. She listened to their small worries, their family stories, their happy moments. Anna thought of herself as ordinary, but to others, she was gentle light. Still, inside her, she was shy. She found it hard to talk to strangers for a long time. She preferred quiet conversations, small smiles, and simple things. What Anna did not know, what she could not imagine at all, was that her simple and ordinary life was about to change. She would soon face a moment that tested her courage, a moment when she would have to make a choice. She would not only give a smile or carry a bag, she would do something much bigger. She would discover that a simple act of kindness could be powerful enough to save a life. Anna's life followed a quiet rhythm, like the steady ticking of a clock. Every morning, after she finished her coffee, she put on her coat, called Max, and went for a walk in the park. The park was her favorite place in town. It was full of tall green trees that whispered when the wind blew, and there was always the sound of birds singing above. Sometimes the ground was wet with rain, and sometimes it was golden with sunshine, but every morning, Anna walked the same path with Max. The little dog ran happily, chasing leaves or squirrels, while Anna breathed in the fresh morning air. She often saw the same people in the park, an old man who liked to feed pigeons, a woman who did morning exercises under the trees, and a group of children walking to school. Anna did not always talk to them, but she always nodded or smiled politely. She believed that even small greetings could make someone's day better. Max was the one who usually started conversations, because children always wanted to touch his soft fur, and he wagged his tail at everyone. Anna laughed softly whenever Max made a new friend. After the walk, Anna went to her shop. The fruit and vegetable shop was not big, but it was cheerful. The smell of oranges, the bright red of apples, the fresh green of cucumbers, it was a place full of life. She enjoyed arranging the fruits neatly, making them look colorful and inviting. Customers often said, "Anna, you make the shop look so beautiful." That compliment made her happy. She worked alone most of the time, but she never felt lonely because people liked to come in and chat. Life for Anna was simple, and she liked it that way. She had her little dog, her little shop, her little routines. She did not think about danger, big changes, or exciting adventures. She thought, "This is enough for me. I don't need more." But life often surprises us when we least expect it. On one ordinary morning, as Anna followed the same path she always took, she was about to meet someone who would change her world. She did not know it yet, but her quiet rhythm was about to break, and her courage would soon be tested in a way she had never imagined. Paragraph 3, expanded to 400 words. That morning felt a little different to Anna, though she could not explain why. The sun was shining, but the air was strangely cold. She wrapped her scarf around her neck and pulled her coat tighter. Max ran ahead, happy as always, but Anna walked more slowly. Her heart felt heavy, though nothing was wrong. It was just a quiet feeling, like a whisper inside her, something unusual is going to happen today. She tried to ignore the feeling. She told herself, it is just a normal morning. She looked at the bright sky, the moving branches, the birds hopping on the grass. Everything seemed peaceful, ordinary, safe. But deep inside, she felt a strange energy, like the world was waiting for something to happen. She could not see it yet, but she sensed it. As Anna walked further into the park, she noticed that the benches were empty. Usually, she saw people there, the old man, the exercising woman, the children. But that morning, it was quiet. Too quiet. Max barked once, as if he also felt something unusual. Anna stopped and looked around. That was when she noticed a small, lonely figure sitting on one of the benches near the trees. It was a boy. He sat with his shoulders bent, his head down. His clothes looked dirty and worn, and his shoes were old. He did not move, he did not look around, he only stared at the ground. His body looked small, fragile, almost invisible in the big park. Anna's heart beat faster. She felt curiosity and concern at the same time. She stood there for a moment, watching him. She thought, should I go to him? Should I ask if he is okay? But her shy nature held her back. She did not want to disturb him. Maybe he wanted to be alone. Maybe he would be angry if she talked to him. Still, something inside her told her that the boy was in trouble. Something was wrong. She could feel it. Anna took a deep breath. She did not move closer yet, but she knew she could not just walk away. She had no idea that this boy would soon change her life completely, that this meeting would become the most important moment in her story. White heavy checkmark. That's paragraphs 2 and 3 fully expanded, 400 words each. Would you like me to keep going with paragraph 4 and paragraph 5 next, both 400 words each, so we finish the introduction section? You said. Yes. ChatGPT said. Great glowing star, thanks for confirming. Let's continue with the story. I'll now expand paragraph 4 and paragraph 5, each around 400 words, keeping it simple, emotional, and learner-friendly. Paragraph 4, expanded to 400 words. Anna's eyes stayed on the boy. Something about him made her stop walking. The park was usually a happy place full of energy, but this boy looked like a shadow in the middle of sunshine. He sat on the bench with his arms close to his body, almost as if he was trying to disappear. His hair was messy, his face looked pale, and his clothes were too thin for the cold morning. He did not smile, did not laugh, did not even notice Max running around. He looked lost. Anna felt her heart squeeze inside her chest. She wanted to go to him, but her shy nature made her hesitate. She told herself, maybe his parents are nearby, maybe he is just waiting for someone. But when she looked around the park, there was no one else. The benches were empty, the paths were quiet, and the only sound came from the wind blowing through the trees. Max barked again, running closer to the boy as if he wanted Anna to notice him more. The boy finally lifted his head a little, and Anna saw his eyes. They were dark and tired, full of sadness. She had seen tired eyes before, but these eyes looked different. They looked like they carried a heavy secret, a heavy pain. Anna felt fear. She did not know this boy. She did not know his story. But she also felt something stronger than fear, compassion. Her heart told her, he needs help. She thought of walking away, telling herself that someone else would take care of him. But at the same time, she knew that no one else was here. If she left now, maybe no one would notice him at all. The boy lowered his head again, and Anna saw his small hands trembling. It was not only sadness. It was also hunger, weakness, maybe even despair. Anna felt her legs move slowly toward him, though her mind still argued. She was shy, she was nervous, but she could not ignore him. Step by step, she walked closer to the lonely bench, closer to the boy who seemed to be fading into the cold morning air. Paragraph 5, expanded to 400 words. The park around Anna was alive, but strangely, it felt like a different world compared to the bench where the boy sat. On one side, children were laughing as they ran down the path, holding balloons from a nearby street vendor. A young couple walked by, smiling at each other, their hands linked together. Birds sang cheerfully in the branches above, and Max barked happily as he chased after a falling leaf. Life seemed bright and normal for everyone else. But the boy was sitting still, completely apart from all of it, like a shadow no one noticed. People passed him, but they did not look at him. They were too busy with their own lives. They did not see his dirty clothes, his thin arms, or the sadness in his face. He was invisible in the middle of a lively park. Anna stood there, realizing how easy it was for a person to be ignored. Even in a place full of people. That thought broke her heart. She took a few careful steps forward. The boy's shoulders were hunched, and his head was still bent toward the ground. Anna thought he looked like a bird with broken wings, too weak to fly. She wanted to speak, but her voice was stuck in her throat. She was shy, and speaking to strangers always made her nervous. But this was not about her anymore. This was about the boy. "Hello," she finally whispered, her voice soft and unsure. At first, the boy did not move. Then, slowly, he lifted his head. His eyes met hers, and for a moment Anna froze. His eyes were wide, dark, and filled with something she could not name, fear, sadness, and maybe hope all mixed together. He did not answer. He only stared at her as if he could not believe someone was speaking to him. Anna smiled gently, trying to show him that she was not dangerous, not unfriendly. "Are you okay?" she asked, her voice a little stronger now. The boy shook his head slowly. He did not speak, but that small movement was enough. Anna's heart told her, he is not okay. He needs help. And in that moment, she made her decision. She could not walk away. Anna stood close enough now to see the boy's small hands. They were thin and shaking. His nails were dirty, and his fingers looked stiff from the cold. She noticed that the sleeves of his shirt were torn, and on his arms she thought she saw little scratches or cuts. Her heart sank. This was not a boy who had simply forgotten his jacket. This was someone who had been through something hard, maybe something painful. The boy kept his eyes down, avoiding her gaze. His body looked tense, as if he was ready to run away at any second. Anna wanted to speak again, but she was afraid her words might scare him. She thought carefully, what can I say that will make him feel safe? She wanted to help, but she did not want to push him away. The wind blew through the park, lifting a few leaves from the ground. Anna pulled her coat tighter and looked at the boy. "Are you hungry?" she asked softly. The boy did not answer, but she saw the way his lips moved slightly, as if he wanted to speak but couldn't. Then his stomach made a faint noise, a sound Anna recognized too well. Hunger. She knew it immediately. Her mind filled with questions. Where are his parents? Why is he here alone? Has he run away? Is he hurt? She wanted to ask them all, but she stopped herself. She could see he was fragile, and too many questions would only frighten him more. She took a step back and looked around the park, hoping to see someone else who might know him, but there was no one. Anna felt fear rising in her chest. She was not used to situations like this. She was shy, quiet, ordinary. She was not a doctor, not a police officer, not someone trained to help children in trouble. But she was here, and the boy was here, and she felt in her heart that she could not turn away. She thought, if I leave him now, what will happen to him? Who will notice him? Who will care? The boy's hands kept shaking. Anna understood, he was not only hungry, he was scared. And so was she. But deep inside, she knew she had to act. Paragraph 7, expanded to 400 words. Anna took a deep breath, the kind of breath people take before making an important choice. She told herself, I cannot walk away. He needs me. Even if I am shy, even if I am afraid, I must try. Her feet moved forward slowly, step by step, until she stood right in front of the bench. Max followed her, wagging his tail and sniffing the boy's shoes. The dog's friendly behavior made the moment feel a little softer, a little safer. Anna bent down slightly so she could be closer to the boy's eyes. She smiled, though inside her heart was beating fast. My name is Anna, she said, her voice calm and gentle. The boy looked up quickly, as if surprised to hear her name. He did not answer. But his eyes watched her carefully, like he was trying to decide if she was safe. She continued, this is Max. She pointed to the dog. Max barked once, not loudly, almost like he was saying hello. The boy's mouth twitched, almost forming the beginning of a smile, but it disappeared quickly. Still, Anna saw it, and she felt a little hope. Are you cold? Anna asked softly. The boy nodded, just once, and then lowered his eyes again. That small movement was enough for Anna to understand that he trusted her, even if only a little. She took off her scarf and gently placed it near him on the bench. You can use this, she said. He looked at the scarf, then at her, and finally pulled it closer. It was not much, but it was a beginning. For a moment, silence hung between them. Anna felt the cold air on her skin, but inside she felt something warm, courage. She realized that this was the moment of choice. She could leave, tell herself she had tried, or she could stay and truly help. She looked at the boy's thin arms, his tired face, and she knew her decision. I want to help you, she said clearly, though her voice was still gentle. The boy's eyes widened. He did not speak, but he did not run away either. That was enough for Anna. She had taken the first step, and the boy had not turned away. Now, the story of kindness was truly beginning. Anna stood silently for a moment, thinking about what to do next. Her heart was still beating fast, but she knew she had to act. She remembered the sandwich and bottle of water in her bag. She always carried food with her for her break at the shop, and now she realized it could be useful for the boy. Slowly, carefully, she opened her bag and took out the sandwich wrapped in paper and the small bottle of water. She held them in her hands, then placed them gently on the bench next to him. Here, she said softly. You can eat this. It is fresh. Please take it. Her voice was calm, almost like a whisper, as if she were speaking to a frightened bird. The boy looked at the sandwich, then at Anna, then back at the sandwich again. His eyes were unsure. His hand stayed on his lap, not moving. Anna did not push him. She just sat down on the other side of the bench, leaving space between them. She wanted him to feel safe, not pressured. Max jumped onto the bench too, curling up happily beside Anna. His presence made the moment less frightening, more normal. Anna thought, maybe Max will help him trust me. For a while, nothing happened. The boy stared at the food as if it was something strange, something he had not seen in a long time. Then, slowly, with hands that still trembled, he reached out. He touched the sandwich carefully, as if it might disappear. Finally, he picked it up and held it close. Anna smiled but said nothing. She wanted him to know that it was truly his choice. The boy unwrapped the paper slowly, and when he saw the bread inside, his eyes widened slightly. He took a small bite. Then another. His eating was quiet, but Anna could feel the hunger in every movement. She watched him, and her heart filled with warmth. She thought, this is only a sandwich, only a small thing. But right now, it means so much. She looked at him gently and whispered, it's okay. You are safe. Eat slowly. The boy glanced at her, then continued eating. For the first time, Anna felt that her kindness was reaching him. A simple sandwich had become the bridge between them. The boy's hands shook less as he ate. The fear in his face seemed to soften, little by little. His eyes, which had looked so empty before, now showed a tiny spark of life. Anna felt relief. She had worried he would refuse the food, but now she could see that he was accepting her help, even if only a little. When he finished half of the sandwich, Anna decided to introduce herself again. "My name is Anna," she said gently, smiling at him. "And this is Max, my dog." She pointed to Max, who wagged his tail happily. The boy's eyes followed her finger, and for the first time, Anna heard his voice. It was soft, almost like a whisper. "Tom," he said. Just one word, his name. Anna's heart leapt with joy. "He trusts me enough to tell me his name," she thought. "Hello, Tom," she replied warmly. "I'm very glad to meet you." She said his name again, hoping it would make him feel seen and respected. The boy, Tom, looked at her carefully, then gave the smallest nod. Anna wanted to ask him many questions, where he came from, why he was alone, if he had a family, but she stopped herself. She remembered how fragile he looked, like a candle that could go out with the smallest wind. Instead of questions, she offered comfort. "It's okay, Tom. You are safe here. You don't have to be afraid." Tom did not answer, but Anna saw how his shoulders relaxed just a little. He took another bite of the sandwich, then drank from the bottle of water. Drops of water touched his chin, and he wiped them away quickly, as if embarrassed. Anna smiled kindly to show that it was okay. For a few quiet minutes, they sat together on the bench. Max rested his head on Tom's leg, and for the first time, Tom did not pull away. His hand even moved slowly to touch the dog's fur. Anna's heart warmed at the sight. She thought, "This is the beginning. He is starting to trust me." In that simple moment, sharing food, sharing silence, sharing company, something invisible but powerful was happening. A bridge was being built between two strangers. And that bridge, though made from something as small as a sandwich and a smile, would soon prove strong enough to save a life. The park was calm, but suddenly a loud noise cut through the quiet morning. A car engine roared from the nearby street, breaking the peaceful atmosphere. Anna turned her head quickly, surprised by the sound. Tom also lifted his head, his eyes wide with alarm. At that same moment, Max barked loudly and jumped off the bench, running toward the sound. Anna stood up, her heart beating fast. She saw a small dog, not Max but another stray, running across the street. The poor animal looked frightened, dashing from one side to the other. The car that had made the noise was speeding down the road, much too fast for a street near the park. Anna felt panic rise inside her. Tom reacted immediately. Without thinking, he jumped up from the bench and started moving toward the street. His eyes were fixed on the stray dog, and Anna realized at once what he wanted to do. He wanted to run after it, maybe to save it, maybe because he felt connected to it somehow, alone, scared, and in danger, just like him. But Anna saw the danger. The car was coming closer, moving quickly, its wheels throwing up dust. If Tom ran onto the street, he would be hit. The thought froze her for half a second, but then something stronger than fear pushed her forward. She reached out and grabbed Tom's small hand just as he took his first step toward the road. "Wait," she cried. Her voice was sharp, louder than she expected. She pulled him back toward the safety of the bench. Tom resisted for a second, his body leaning forward, but then he stopped. He looked at her, confused, almost angry, but in his eyes she also saw fear. The car raced past, the sound of its engine filling the air, and then disappeared down the street. The stray dog had stopped on the other side of the road, safe for now but still trembling. Anna held Tom's hand tightly, her own body shaking. She knew that if she had been even 1 second slower, something terrible might have happened. She knelt in front of Tom, still holding his hand. "It's too dangerous," she said, her voice softer now. "The street is not safe. You could have been hurt." Tom stared at her, breathing hard, as if trying to understand what had just happened. Paragraph 11, expanded to 400 words. For a long moment, neither Anna nor Tom spoke. The sound of the car had vanished, leaving only the rustle of the trees and the beating of Anna's heart in her ears. She realized her hands were still shaking, and when she looked at Tom, she saw that his hands were trembling too. She loosened her grip slowly, not wanting him to feel trapped. But she did not let go completely. She wanted him to know he was safe, that someone was holding on to him. Tom's face showed many emotions at once, fear, confusion, and something else Anna could not name. His lips parted as if he wanted to speak, but no words came. Finally, he whispered, I wanted to help the dog. His voice was soft, almost breaking. Anna felt her heart ache at his words. Of course he wanted to help. She could see it clearly now. He was not careless, he was kind. He had seen a small, helpless creature in danger, and his first thought had been to save it. In that moment, Anna realized how much the boy's heart mirrored her own. He was afraid and lost, but inside him there was kindness, the same kind of kindness that made her offer him a sandwich. I know, she said gently, brushing a bit of hair from his forehead. I know you wanted to help. But sometimes, helping without thinking can be dangerous. If I had not stopped you, the car could have hit you. You are too important, Tom. Your life matters. Tom's eyes widened at her words, as if no one had ever told him he was important before. He looked down, his shoulders trembling slightly. Anna could not tell if he was about to cry, but she hoped her words had reached him. Max returned to the bench, wagging his tail as if trying to cheer them both up. Tom reached out and touched the dog's fur again, this time more firmly. His breathing slowed. Anna felt relief spread through her chest. She had been afraid that Tom would pull away after she stopped him, but instead, she felt their bond grow stronger. She thought about how small her actions had been so far, sharing food, offering a scarf, stopping him from running, but each one was building a bridge of trust. Each act was like a small stone, and together they were creating something strong. Anna looked at Tom and thought, this is only the beginning. I must keep helping him. He needs me, and I will not leave him alone. The park slowly grew quiet again after the danger passed. Anna and Tom sat back on the bench, both breathing heavily, as if they had run a long race. Anna could still feel her heart pounding in her chest. She looked at Tom and saw that his small face was pale, but there was also something new in his expression. It was as if he had realized that someone truly cared whether he lived or not. For a while, neither of them spoke. The silence was not uncomfortable this time, it was heavy, but meaningful. Max lay at Tom's feet, his tail moving slowly against the ground, and Anna could see Tom's fingers brushing against the dog's fur as if to comfort himself. Finally, Tom whispered, I ran away from home. His words were soft, broken, but they carried a truth that hit Anna like a wave. She looked at him with wide eyes. You ran away, she repeated gently, making sure she understood. Tom nodded once, still not looking at her. His shoulders shook slightly, and his voice came again, trembling, I couldn't stay there anymore. I felt like nobody cared. Anna's heart broke. She leaned closer, lowering her voice so it was calm and steady. Tom, you matter. You matter so much. I am here now, and I care. You are not alone anymore. She placed her hand lightly on the bench, not too close to him, but close enough for him to feel her presence. Tears welled up in Tom's eyes, but he quickly wiped them with his sleeve, as if ashamed to cry. Nobody ever says that, he whispered. His voice was so small it almost disappeared in the wind. Anna shook her head gently. Then they were wrong not to say it. Because you are important, Tom. Very important. She handed him her handkerchief, soft and clean. He took it hesitantly, then pressed it to his face. His breathing slowed, though his eyes were still wet. Anna realized that in this moment, more than food or water, what Tom needed most was kindness, real kindness that told him he was seen, valued, and not invisible. And she was ready to give that to him. Anna knew she had to think carefully about her next step. She could not just let Tom sit in the park all day. He needed warmth, safety, and comfort. She looked around again, hoping to see someone searching for him, but the paths were still empty. The park, which usually felt cheerful, now felt like a wide, lonely space. "Tom," she said softly, "would you like to come with me for a little while? I have a small apartment not far from here. It's warm, and Max will be there too. You don't have to stay outside in the cold." She tried to keep her voice gentle and calm, not pushing him but offering. She knew trust could not be forced, it had to grow slowly, like a flower opening. Tom looked at her quickly, his eyes filled with uncertainty. She could see the fear in his face, fear of strangers, fear of being hurt, fear of making another mistake. Anna smiled softly, meeting his eyes with kindness. "You don't have to decide now," she added. "But I promise you will be safe with me."